2K game. It wasn't from last year. This was fully 2K and what they could do with the wrestling game. And I think that for it to be their first time, they did a pretty awesome job. Graphics was on point. Story mode was good for what it was. But, you know, as a video gamer and a fan, it always could have been better. So it left you wanting to see what they were going to do with 16.
Yeah. All right. Now, Ro, you definitely are an avid wrestling fan because that's kind of what brought all of us together. Did you play last year's version of the WWE 2K?
Yes, I did.
And how did you feel about it?
It was straight for what it was to be like they technically like, you know, versus second year because, you know, like, well, the previous WWE game was also a 2K, but it wasn't fully 2K. It was just pretty much, you know, picked up from where THQ left off.
Right,
what
it was THQ's basically THQ's last project.
So, like, for it to be like a full 2K game, it really wasn't that bad of a game. I mean, it had a hit or misses, but hey, what game doesn't have its hit or miss?
All right. So, me personally, like I said before, I wasn't overly impressed with the game, but I wasn't mad at the game either. I think my biggest thing that I did not like about the game was the actual mechanics of walking and running. Like, as childish as that is, it actually irritated me more than anything. Because for some odd reason, the game felt extra slow because of that. Like I couldn't move or progress through my move set like I wanted to before. So, but since then, the game got sped up a little bit. There's some in regards to it. So we definitely are moving in a direction that works for me. So I'm actually excited. Most importantly, they actually brought back something that THQ stopped doing that pissed me off was the early roster reveal, where they would actually start debuting some of the rosters as time went on. And of course this year's, I don't know, is it pre-order bonus? It's probably like one of the most unique pre-order bonuses WWE has done in a long time. It's freaking the Terminator.
I tell you, things that happen when Hulk Hogan gets fired. It was top 5.
Hey, you can't mention that name.
Like, we just randomly wake up and I see a Terminator reboot freaking pre-order. Like, I don't know how I feel about that. But we definitely know that a lot of key features are back from the previous year. So we do still have the 2K showcase, which I actually thought was pretty good. But I'm actually now really, really, really concerned about what they plan on doing with this year's 2K showcase. Because being the fact that this is technically the largest WWE roster ever, where they have 120 unique playable characters. Now, I have to actually see the game and see exactly what they mean by unique. Because if you're telling me that Cactus Jack, Dude Love, and Mick Foley are all considered 3 separate characters, I'm going to be actually kind of pissed.
Well, I don't know about that, but I know there was like 120 original models.
Right,
so
that's
it
what
is
I'm saying.
Technically the largest, it's the largest roster.
Yeah, it's the largest roster, period. And they've done something that I'm actually glad they're doing is they gave NXT is in the game. It's like it's not just a small little career mode kickoff. It is they're on the roster. Everybody. Like so far, I have yet to see an NXT person missing unless they just debuted within the last month.
Well, I think everybody's biggest question for right now was Samoa Joe going to be able to be scanned in.
And that's
he's going to make the original game. I think
he might not make the actual shelf game, but he definitely would be a DLC. Because if anything we've learned from NBA 2K is 2K can DLC you in a game in a heartbeat. Like you might wake up one day. You might wake up one day, log onto your console, something download real quick, and next thing you know, you got a whole nigga on your game. So, And that's kind of what I wanted them to do last year, but they didn't really do it. Like when Dean Ambrose went away from wearing Shield gear, just went to jeans and T-shirt. I thought that I was going to log on one day and just have him that outfit there, but they didn't. So you dropped the ball, You dropped the ball.
Same thing with Seth Rollins. Like,
yeah,
I wish you would have had a patch for their they theme music and interest and stuff like that because they broke up. They could have easily sent out a patch.
Right. Well, this year though, the My Career mode is back. It's actually supposed to be more in depth than it was before. You now actually do have to work your way from NXT all the way up to Hall of Fame status. So that's going to be kind of interesting because I know in the NBA 2K, when you were trying to achieve Hall of Fame status, there were a bunch of actual statistical goals you had to reach to get there. And I think that kind of setup in a wrestling game is more realistically achievable. So I can actually see my character actually working its way up to Hall of Fame status. So that's actually pretty good.
Kind of like how Dead Reckoning, like, I don't know if you played the Dead Reckoning games, but kind of like a little bit similar to how Dead Reckoning was.
Right. So I think THQ went back and did their history on the SmackDown Raw franchise games and actually seen what everybody liked about those games. Because if one more person compares any new wrestling game to Here Comes the Pain, I'm going to beat them with their own damn belt. Okay? Because as good as that game was, it didn't need all that.
Greatest SmackDown game ever.
It is, but that goes back to the whole entire wrestling debate about the Attitude Era. Niggas just won't let that shit go. Now you have the network that you can easily people get for $9.99. I don't want to hear nothing.
Oh, you just gave out a cheap plug.
I know. I did that on purpose. I know what I'm doing, bro. I guarantee it's in the game.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is. But this game is, like you said, I think they're taking steps in the right direction. Like with 2K, like with the basketball franchise, I think they're taking steps in the right direction to giving the fans what they want. Like this year, we got the 3-man commentary thing, which is like they see on TV. And the reason, like, the game is so slow, see, Tom, you didn't really play it, but it wants to give you more of that realistic feel to an actual match. Some people like it, some people don't. I don't really care.
I just think that I was not prepared for that.
Is no loading screen.
See, and that's another thing that's going to bother me, because I don't know. I mean, it's no loading screen now, but take in consideration that probably would only be at its best when you're using preloaded characters. The minute you start incorporating the creation community, which they have vastly improved by giving us 100 slots compared to 25 they gave last year.
Okay, now you're asking for two things. Here you go, being like them.
No. They actually did admit they're giving us 100 creation slots. It's been announced.
No, I know that. I'm talking about the no loading screen for preloaded characters. I mean, gotta take the good with the bad. Maybe
I'm okay with that. I'm just correcting it for those fans that those people are listening. They're like, oh shit, yeah, the loading screen, and then they go and make a whole new federation. They go make Lucha Underground on the game and wonder why they got a loading screen.
I mean, but for those who played, I believe it was WWE 12. WWE 12 didn't have many loading screens.
No, it did not.
And they incorporated, like, the pyro for the opening of the show when panning the crowd and stuff. So now they're just taking that and putting it on a bigger scale, like, just from watching the gameplay. They pan the crowd, and then you actually hear, Michael Cole and Lawler and JBL talk about what's actually going on. And then it breaks away, and then the next guy comes out. But what I'm really interested in seeing, which they have not uploaded any gameplay of this yet, I want to see the breakout I want to see what that does. Because now the rumor has it, like, if you interrupt the entrance, now you got to wrestle with your gear on, which I think is dope. Or, like, you know, if you're a champion and I attack you, the belt's still on you. Or, you know, stuff like that. So, like, I want to see where that really goes. And what's the grounds on King? Is it universe exclusive? Is it only an online thing? Because they really didn't say nothing about it. They just dropped it in like, oh, here's a new breakout mode. And you can interrupt the entrance. But then they're like, well, what else can you do with it?
Right. But they've also improved a lot of things in the game. So I think me not playing the game too much last year will actually make the transition to the new things. Because, like, there's a new reversal system now. It has been completely reworked, so it makes it more fluent in regards to it. So now when you're reversing something or stopping an opponent from going from a powerful move, you are not kind of stuck in limbo. So, like, for an example, if me and you are wrestling against each other and I stop you from doing a spine buster, you're not stuck there just looking lost, waiting for me to make my next move, or now I have to wait till I can reverse you. No, they actually have a more fluent system, actual chain wrestling going on here. We're not going to get a Shelton Benjamin, Shawn Michaels chain wrestling, but one can hope.
So can we hope to get like at least like a Rey Mysterio, say Billy Kidman chain reversal?
No hope for that.
No hope for that unless you're like fucking Neville and Kid. That's all I can think of. I think maybe if you. But see, that's another thing. I want them to go back to where your character's size made a difference. I'm not saying limit your character to be able to do certain moves, but make that
about momentum
like right. So like if Neville is wrestling Big Show, Neville can get quick strikes in and quick grapples and stuff like that. But if Big Show grapples you, it's a significant amount of damage to you. A little bit more damage to you than if he did it to, let's say, Titus O'Neil. I want those factors to be back into the game. Where like a match with Rey Mysterio and Tyson Kidd could go a little bit longer till you get to that super mode than, let's say, if Big Show and Brock did, because they absorb so much power, their meters go up faster when you're colliding two giants. Pause. So
Thank you.
I'm just
like,
saying,
they definitely need to implement the momentum lift back. I don't know why, because how the hell can Rey Mysterio on the video game pick up the fucking Big Show for a power bomb?
I mean, yeah, I can't even argue with that. I liked it back then because back when they had that in the SmackDown series, if Ray tried to go for a move that required you to lift a super heavyweight, it was a struggle. Like, he wouldn't do it. He literally would actually lose a little energy. Or if a light heavyweight lifted a heavyweight, he'll get him up, but the animation showed a struggle in him doing it, you know. Or if a super heavyweight picked up a featherweight, it was damn near the way Brock Lesnar fucking F5 Spanky. B-Brain.
Or
you may know him.
Or Zach Gowen.
Yeah. So like those, put that back in there. I'm not saying that because I'm wrestling a Brock Lesnar, I might as well go ahead and expect to lose. But just Brock will get tired faster. You kick out pins quicker, you know, things like that. Like the little pin meter bar that bounces back and forth. Yours don't go that fast because you have more stamina.
Well, okay, now what they changed that a little bit too. So like I guess depending on how tired you are, your bar doesn't show up right away. And I guess that's supposed to make the game more lifelike. So like I guess like if your energy is red, like really dead red, you don't get a chance to kick out at once. You start from 2.
Damn. So you might actually lose the game.
Right, so it's like
intensified kick out. Ooh, I love it.
Right. I think that makes the game more lifelike with the whole. Okay, so it's not like